What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here, back from All Things Sports, bringing you another brand new video. Today I'm in the garage studio once again, and this is a video that's been sort of in the making over the last year and a half or 2 years. I'm going to tell you all about it, so let's stay tuned and enjoy the video. Alright guys, before we get into it, you know the drill. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, take care of all that stuff, and let's get into this brand new video. Now, I'm back in the garage studio. If you haven't seen the series I did renovating this 2 years ago, I did a 3-part series of videos showing you the original garage and showing you my plans and the actual renovation process, and then the final product. So part 3 was a tour of the finished product. But on this side, I always wanted to set up a pressure washer sort of system, car detailing system. I mean, that would be its primary focus, but of course you could use the pressure washer for other tasks around the house. And I wanted to get something that was easy to use, accessible at all times, didn't have to deal with all the faff of setting up the pressure washer and all that stuff, and using high quality upgrades that would really make the washing experience that much better. So I'm going to tell you about what I've done over here and show you everything that you need to know to achieve this kind of setup right here. So when I redid the garage, I always had a vision that right at the end of the garage, near the garage door, would be the pressure washing setup. To me, it made a lot of sense being at the end of the garage because you wouldn't have to walk all the way through it, get what you needed, and walk all the way out. It's right at the end, so it's accessible from the driveway. It creates a more efficient design because the hose is right there. You're not wasting length of your hose going through the garage. It's right at the end and it's easy to use. So this was always the plan, but I knew that I would need a solid material, obviously. I need a good setup behind it to support the weight. So what I did was I actually cut away this section of drywall and I installed plywood behind what you see here. So the plywood is mounted directly to the 2x6 studs. We put in a couple of cross braces in areas that I assumed I'd have something mounted to, and then we put this nice sheet of checker plate aluminum on top. And the idea with the checker plate aluminum was to give it a level of water resistance without going to the extent of doing a full-on tile. So while this isn't 100% waterproof in the sense that it's not water sealed and watertight, if water does splash up against the aluminum, first of all, it won't rust, it's aluminum, and it'll just drip down to the floor and I can wipe it clean really easily. It's much better than getting drywall wet, and then it obviously kind of looks cool too. It just adds a level of aesthetic to it. So I bought this shelf on Amazon. The pressure washer is something that I already owned, and then I had to accessorize all of this stuff here to set it up the way I wanted. Now, a lot of this comes from the inspiration of Obsessed Garage. You probably know what I'm talking about. He's kind of the one that pioneered this wall-mounted pressure washing setup. Now, I didn't get anything directly through him. If he's watching, sorry Matt, but he's not set up in Canada, so I obviously tried to find a local means to set it up, just to save on paying duties and taxes and all of that stuff. I bought everything that you see here myself. None of this is sponsored, this is all me. And I've achieved the setup that I always wanted. So what I've done was my hose bib is at the other end of the garage. You've seen that when I did the tour. It's right near the door. So again, I wanted water accessible at the end of the garage. So what I did was I had an old hose. I cut it to the length that I needed it. I ran it from the hose bib, from the spigot, to the end of the garage here, and I've purchased a regular garden hose wheel. This is from Canadian Tire, but I like it because it rolls this way, so I can pull the hose straight out and wind it back up when I'm done with it. So the garden hose is connected to this reel right here, and it's really done a nice, clean, efficient job of cleaning up the garden hose, but still making it very accessible when I need it. So I can use it as a regular garden hose with the tip that you see here, and with a quick connect, I can simply connect it up here to the pressure washer when I need it for the pressure washer. So it makes it a really easy setup without having a dedicated water outlet specifically for the pressure washer. So this is my little hack, if you will, that allows me to use the garden hose as a normal garden hose, but also allows me to use it with the pressure washer when I need it. So that is where the water source comes from. I've installed an outlet here. This was done when we built the garage. We ran wiring externally on the outside of the wall through plastic conduit all the way up to this external box right here, so I have power when I need it. And then all the other pieces are, pressure washer specific. So this is an MTM Hydro hose reel with a 100-foot KobraJet hose. this is the key to this setup right here. So water would come out of the garden hose and go into the pressure washer, which I have mounted up on top of the shelf. There's all quick connects now, which makes it super easy to connect everything. You have these quick stainless steel quick connects right here. So I have a little whip line that comes out of the outlet of the pressure washer, which is at the back, and it comes out of this little black whip line that you see over here and into the hose reel. And then the water is fed through the hose reel to the hose itself. And all I need to do is connect the hose, plug it in, push on, and now I've got 100 feet of hose that I can use, which makes it so much better because the stock hose that came with the pressure washer is only 20 feet long. So I was always moving the pressure washer around, lengthening the power cord, lengthening the garden hose, just to get to the parts of the car when I was detailing that I needed to get to. And it was just a pain. It was hard to move the pressure washer around. You had 3 different lines that would always get tangled. The hose itself would always twist because there was no swivel. I'll explain that later. And it just made things really, really difficult to work with. The whip line is a short 5 or 6 foot hose that goes from the pressure washer into the reel. So it's quick connected into the reel, and then the KobraJet hose is attached to the reel itself. This has a nice quick locking mechanism here, so I can pull the pin and unlock it. And then when I'm done, reel it back up, pull the pin, lock it again, and now it doesn't twist or unravel on you, which is great, so that's cool. Along with the hose reel, I purchased the gun and the wand, and I'll show you that here. So here I have the MTM Hydro SGS28, and the key thing with this is you've got the stainless steel quick connects, right? So I've got the nozzle hooked up with a rubber protector there. And it has quick connects at the bottom, and it has the swivel. So the swivel at the end of the gun means that the hose never gets tangled on me, which is fantastic. And for the short times that I've used it, it's already made a huge, huge difference. So if I pull the pin here, I can quick connect into the hose, show you a little bit closer, right? Quick connect into the hose when I'm done, quick connect there, and now I've got my gun when I need it to be connected. The other thing I've done is I've added the wand, or the lance, the extension lance, to a holder right here. So if I want to, I store the gun here and the lance in my little makeshift storage. This again, that's an Obsessed Garage idea. So here with the lance, I can attach the extension here to the gun, right? So now I've got the 20-foot lance. I put my nozzle at the end, and now I've got the extension lance when I'm pressure washing the car, right? That's not uncommon. But this over here, sometimes I just keep the nozzles there as well, super easy. This can be stored inside my little makeshift storage unit over here. So quite simple. This was an Obsessed Garage idea as well. Now this is available on Obsessed Garage's website. He has a stainless steel, really high quality piece of kit that you can screw to the wall. I decided instead of spending like $200 on a stainless steel cylinder, can I hack that and make it myself? So went to the hardware store, found a 2-inch piece of PVC with some plastic, I guess, holders, brackets if you will, and I cut it to the length I need. That cost me 10 bucks. So $10, I've got the same storage solution right here. And it can drip through. There's a plastic cover at the bottom with holes in it, so if there's water it can drip through. And I've got the same storage solution there for my gun and lance that he sells. Okay, it's not fancy stainless steel, I can full on admit that, but I'm not spending $200 when I can hack it and make it myself, so for 10 bucks especially. So I've created this little storage solution for all my brushes here. So this was a simple like bathroom rod that I got, and I got some hooks, and I store all my car detailing brushes right here. The cool thing about this is they're organized, they're visible when I need them, right? I can just grab the one I need. The other cool thing is that I'm not worried about letting them dry and then storing them. They can kind of hang and dry right there, which is really cool. At least I think that's a very functional feature, where I have all the brushes that I need right here, use them, rinse them off, hang them up, they'll dry, they'll drip onto the floor, down into the drain, and it's no problem. This is another bathroom rod I found on Amazon, and the idea behind this was I can pull this out. There's 4 different rods, right? I can use it in any kind of direction that I want. And the idea here was when I'm finished with a cloth or my drying towel, I can just hang this up here, it's again screwed into plywood, and it'll dry, and it'll drip down on the floor, down into the drain, and I can push these away when I'm done for storage purposes. So I feel like I've done a lot of thinking here. I have my foam cannon stored up here on the shelf as well. I feel like I've done a lot of thinking. I feel like I've created a really functional solution at the end of the garage that makes a lot of sense for my setup for a relatively small investment compared to what I could spend. This is, in the US, this is the Active VE52. In Canada, this is picked up at Canadian Tire. This is the Simoniz 1800 PSI pressure washer that puts out 2 gallons a minute. So this is widely regarded, at least in the pressure washing car detailing industry, widely regarded as the best entry-level pressure washer for this application. So this was at Canadian Tire. The reel I got at a Canadian website called Carzilla. The hose reel is Canadian Tire. Garden hose is Canadian Tire. A couple pieces from Amazon. The shelf, the drying aid, the racks here, the brushes I've had from Amazon, Carzilla, things like that. All the MTM stuff, foam cannon, all from Carzilla. So for a relatively small investment compared to what I could spend, if I did this the way Obsessed Garage has it set up, I'd get everything I need in one purchase, which is an excellent solution. Don't get me wrong. If you want this whole setup, you can buy it with one click. But if you're into pressure washing like me and you don't mind kind of sourcing parts and building it over time and setting it up with a little bit more of a personalization compared to just a one-click setup, I've done it for less money than what that one-click solution would be, and I've achieved the exact same setup here. So again, certain parts might be consumables. The pressure washer, I don't expect this to last forever. Someday I want to get the new Active 2.0, but again, I've turned this into a really, really cool setup here that's super functional and very, very easy to use. And I've already been able to use it a couple times and I'm super, super happy with it. So that's my new pressure washing setup in the garage studio. Very, very happy with it. If you guys have any more questions or comments, please leave those down below and I'll tell you exactly how I set all this up. I'll tell you the parts. I can leave links and things like that if you're interested. So that is my new Obsessed Garage inspired pressure washing setup for detailing my car. So that's pretty much it. Mike McIntyre, All Things Sports, sign out for now. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Till then, take care.